bleak and dreary afternoon. The kind of afternoon you only find between a morning and an evening. The lights were kind of dim, and honestly, I kind of was too. I mean, if you listen to my internal voice, my real voice just doesn't quite add up. The week had been a tough one. My third secretary this month quit, and the power had been cut, and my favorite shoes have been stolen. I mean, what kind of palooka steals a man's shoes? I mean, his shoes for the... Anyway, my day was about to get better with the knock on my door. I said, my day was about to get better with the knock on my door. Thanks. I rushed to the... Oh, I'm sleeping, aren't I? Am I sleeping? Wake up, you idiot! There before me was a pair of the most beautiful gams on earth. Just my luck, they were attached to an equally good-looking dame. My day was getting better.
Is this the Iron Detective Agency?
Oh. Well, yes it is. Would you like comfortable and make yourself drink? Would you like a drink? Make yourself comfortable.
No, thank you, Detective Iron.
Oh, please. Call me Brandon. And you are...
Honey, do. I'm in trouble, Mr. Iron. Brandon. I think someone's trying to kill me.
Tell me about it.
Well, my husband, he has a large firm.
Oh. A large firm. What?
He's the head of a sizable organization. I fear one of his competitors is out to ruin him by killing me.
What kind of affairs is your husband involved in?
Well, he mostly prefers brunettes, but he does like the occasional blonde.
What kind does your husband run?
About a 6-minute mile.
What makes you think someone is out to kill you?
I have this note.
Honey, I'm going to kill you. Signed, the person that's going to kill you. This certainly does point to the fact that someone wants to kill you.
I was so scared when I found it. I dropped a bottle of milk, and I told Welter it was stolen.
I see. But if they're out to ruin your husband, then why kill you?
If something were to happen to me, he would be devastated, no longer able to continue with his work.
Let me ask you this. Any thoughts to whom it might be?
Someone from his illegal poker ring, maybe? Or one of his competitors? All of his personal enemies have either gone missing or are in prison.
Who does Mr. Do think may be behind this?
Welter doesn't know, and he can't know. If he found out that someone was trying to kill me, he wouldn't take it well. I'm so scared. Please help me.
Tell you what, doll. I'll take the case. My fee is $50 a day plus expenses. Non-negotiable.
I'll pay you $10 a day.
All right, the $40 a day plus expenses and take care of my dry cleaning.
$20, partial expenses, no dry cleaning.
Okay, $30 a day, partial expenses, and teach me how to play a ukulele.
$30 a day, partial expenses, and I would teach you how to play, but I try to stay away from anything with a G string.
Deal! Putting the negotiable and non-negotiable.
With the advance Honey gave me for the first day, I bought a new pair of shoes, even paid the electric bill and bought a paper. Reading my horoscope, I knew I was going to be in for a long, rough day. Leo, it said. You still owe someone $50 and will be unable to solve a case until you pay her, you jerk. That's what I get for having an ex-girlfriend who's with the paper and good friends with the horoscope writer. Sharon. Oh, Sharon, those were the days. I mean, we were a team then. She gave me, she gave me what I needed. She was my right-hand woman. I'd get the cases and she'd give me all the background information I need. Everything was perfect until that day.
Look, Sharon, she meant nothing to me. She slipped me a Mickey. That's it. I was set up. Look, I would never knowingly cheat on you.
Nailed it. But then again, I'm not that bright.
Look, besides, I was thinking about you the entire time.
I turned down a job at the Tribune and strained my credibility with my contacts. And what have you given me in return?
But...
And have you once given me credit for solving the cases?
But...
And in no time did I ever hear you say, I could not have done this without my right-hand woman, Sharon Matthews.
Sharon, please.
Should we talk about the money you owe me, you good-for-nothing piece of flesh?
Money?
I'm surprised you can dress yourself in the morning.
Oh, come on.
Well, you know what? I have had enough. You are on your own.
Sharon, what are you trying to say?
Are you really that dim? Never mind. I'll explain it to you very slowly. I'm leaving. I'm sorry. I need something more in my life. Goodbye.
Please, Sharon, don't go.
That was 2 years ago, and I haven't spoken more than a word to Sharon or any other occasion. I have to put that past in my behind right now as I have a case to solve. So first things first, I need to round up the usual suspects. First up, Mayberry. She got her name from the good old times, but is really dumber than a bag of hammerheads. Word on the street is, her grudges even have grudges. Then there's Figgy. Don't let his young appearance confuse you. This kid is quick, smart, and unafraid of a little scuffle. Lucy. Woman couldn't keep her trap shut even with super glue. She'd usually give up whatever you need, and you don't even need to buy her dinner first. Crutchy. Speaks mostly in grunts. It's what he doesn't say that you have to listen to. Who am I kidding? I just think he's a good-looking guy. I mean, look at him. He's built like a Buick. And Beardo. You know, I don't know how Beardo got his nickname. And Roboff, the newest suspect.
So how do you know Honey-Do?
We pledged the same sorority together. She got in and I didn't, because of what she told the sisters. I hate that fibber.
She ratted me out to the coppers 2 years ago for grand theft auto perjury in a school zone, but she's gonna pay.
She pretty much ruins all my relationships. She keeps telling my boyfriends I want to get married, and then they leave me for her. She's a dirty liar.
It's what forms on your honey in the morning? She's got an erroneous restraining order against me. I'm not allowed within 50 feet of her. I had a perfect track record until she laid those allegations against me.
I don't know any Honey-Do. I literally just started this whole getting investigated thing.
Sounds like you really hate her. Ever think about killing her? Huh?
Sure, I thought about it. How sweet revenge would taste. And what it means to her husband.
Big time. Her and her old fella. I hate hate the Dew family.
I tried once. I could try again. Maybe a fishing accident. Maybe a faulty elevator. She's gonna pay. I hate being lonely.
Hey, I'm not really into fruit. I'm just not into fruit. Me? I don't lie awake at night pretending that she slipped and fell into a shark-filled ocean while piranhas feast on her eyelids.
What did I possibly say to make you think I don't like her? I don't even know her. Do I need a lawyer?
So if I knew someone wanted to kill Honey Dew, why shouldn't I think it's you?
Because I'm sweet and funny, and I really like making people laugh.
Well, basically, I know anything there is to know. I can do it all. People just love to be in my presence.
I'm fun and I'm not clingy. I love to just be, like easygoing, ride with the wind. It's not too difficult. And I laugh a lot.
I'm not really into fruit. I'm a great guy. I'm a nice guy. I care about people. I would never do anything to anyone. I would never hurt anyone. I would take care of someone. I like to show people a good time. Go out to dinner. Make them feel nice. I'd never hurt anyone. Nah, that's not me.
I repeat, I have no idea what you're talking about. Did Mike and Carolyn put you up to this?
Hard to say if that interrogation scene was any help, but it sure was edited nicely. Surely that information would prove useful down the road. What's next? Ah, yes! Lucky for me, Honey gave me an address where I could find her husband. I wanted to case the joint before going to speak with Mr. Dew. From our conversation, I don't think Honey knows exactly what her dear husband does for a living. In fact, I don't think Honey knows what she does most of the time. Thing is, I had to know what I was getting myself into. So it was time I paid Frank a visit.
Good to see you again, Frank. What can you tell me about Walter Dew? So how's your memory now, Frank?
Word on the street is that he's dead. Most of his fortune was handed down to him, all from illegal poker dealings. Sure, he's got his shipping business, but that's just the front. He's got his paws in many cookie jars.
What kind of cookies are we talking about here?
Sugar, chocolate chip, mint finzies.
Mint finzies? You can't mean.
If Frank was right, then Walter Dew was stepping on some big little toes and crumbling more than just treats. Those that tangled with the Bush Guides often got tangled up themselves. The Bush Guides were a rough crowd. They had a corner on the confections market and held it with an iron grip. Only the most foolhardy of people try to compete with the Guides for a share of the sweets. Looks like I'm going to have a little chat with Bushmaster Sandy. Ginger pecan Sandy was one tough cookie, and I would have to tread lightly, or else I'd end up in the milk.
Detective, I can assure you, I have no feelings whatsoever about Walter Dew's entering the cookie market. I am fully confident in Bush Guides' enterprise. I don't feel threatened by him.
Well, that's very generous of you, Miss Sandy.
Please. My mother was Miss Sandy. Call me Bushmaster Sandy.
Have you ever met Mr. Dew's wife, Honey? She's got the impression that someone's out to kill her.
Really? I don't don't care for her, but not enough to kill her.
Do you know of anyone who might have reason to wish her dead?
Do you want the list alphabetically or by transgression?
Well, you make it sound as if she were unpopular.
He was, or should I say, is popular. Welter is so blindly in love, he's got himself looking so crazy right now.
His love's got him looking so crazy right now?
Got him looking so crazy right now.
Her touch got him looking so crazy right now.
Her touch got him hoping she'd page him right now.
Her kiss got him hoping she'd save him right now.
Looking so crazy, her love's got him looking.
Got him looking so crazy in love?
Sounds about right.
You've gone way beyond. Say, if you come across any new information, you'll contact me.
Of course, Detective. Have a good day. Almond, sugar, marzipan, come here right now. It seems Miss Honeydew has hired a private detective. Perhaps you should go talk to him. See what you can find out. Now off with you. I have other matters to attend to.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Detective Iron, you will regret the day you stepped into the office of Bushmaster Ginger Pecan Sandy.
My meet with Bushmaster Sandy was less pleasant than slamming my fingers in a car door. I know Sandy's dirty, but proving it's going to be the tough part. I must admit, Sandy's smarter than I gave her credit for. Her little ploy of trying to cast doubt upon Honey's story and shifting focus away from herself was quite devious. Before I probe deeper into Bushmaster Sandy, I'm going to need to speak with Welter Dew.
Oh no, it's the coppers. You'll never take me alive, copper.
I said no guns.
You set us up, Alessandro?
Okay, everybody, take it easy. We don't want nobody to get hurt here. Correcto, porque yo sé que tú estás un tramposo que no me gusta.
All right, everyone, calm down. I'm only here for one thing.
Is it the rent? I'll get it to you tomorrow. First, just let me take care of this broad.
Shut up, McMangus. He doesn't need to know our plans for her.
Ixnay on the kidnapping K of Uster Bay. Don't you understand Pig Latin K?
No me digas que esa tarjeta era correcta porque yo sé que tú estás un tramposo.
All right, everyone. I'm here for Welter Dew. The rest of y'all can scram before I have this illegal operation raided.
Can I get you a drink, detective?
How'd you know I was the detective?
This is a black and white film set in the 1940s. Either you're a detective or a silent film actor, and unfortunately I can hear you.
Mr. Dew, I'm here to ask you a few questions on behalf of a client. What can you tell me about Bushmaster Sandy and the Bush Guides?
I can tell you Bushmaster Sandy is threatened by my entry into her territory.
Well, according to Bushmaster Sandy, she welcomes the competition and says her cookies brings all the boys to the yard.
Oh, I can imagine Ginger would say something along those lines. She's been bitter towards me ever since we broke up.
You were together. When did you two break up and why?
About 3 years ago, before I met Honey, Ginger and I were seeing each other steadily. We had some real connections, but I was always taking second place to the Bush Guides.
Alright, what happened between you and Ginger?
Would you mind if I tell you by the use of a flashback?
It's your scene!
After work one evening, I went to Lucky's Tavern for a drink instead of going straight home. I needed to think through a few things in private. I'm no booze hound, mind you, doesn't pay in my line of work, but I do enjoy the sauce now and then. And that night was both now and then. I was sitting at the bar, minding my own business, when this dame comes up to me and asks me to buy her a drink. I'm about to give her the gate when I catch a glimpse of her getaway sticks. The view was nice and only got better as you went up. She was quite a looker, all right. I tell her, "Sure, I'll buy you a drink." She sits down. I order up 2 shots of the corn and we began to have a nice chat. Knowing Ginger would be out of town for the annual Bush Guide spring wing-ding, I brought Honey home for some late-night canoodling. We never would have been caught if Ginger hadn't forgotten her achievement insignia sash. Ginger came into the room and caught us. She had murder in her eyes, and had she not been wearing her uniform, would have killed us with her bare hands.
So the night you were found with Honey, was that the last night you and Ginger were in the same house?
Yes. I haven't seen her for more than a passing moment since.
In the years since you've been caught with your hand in the honey pot, did Ginger ever make any hostile moves toward you?
On occasion, I would find my tires slashed, my windows broken, a bunch of other little petty vandalism. You know, one time, someone even stole my milk.
Did you ever report any of these activities to the police, Mr. Dew?
I've reported the milk disappearance. You know, in fact, I heard they're gonna put a picture of my milk carton on a milk carton.
No use crying over it.
You know, now that I've had a chance to think it over, it was always a group of 3 girls leaving after each of these incidences. You know, thinking about it again, I think it's been the same 3 girls.
I appreciate your backstory, Mr. Dew.
Oh, you're welcome, Detective. Good luck in your case.
I'll be seeing you.
Willie, get out here! Willie, I want you to tail the detective. Find out what he wants with Ginger and why my name has been brought into this investigation. Look, try to be as inconspicuous as possible, but get me the information that I need.
How's this?
No.
How about this one?
Seriously.
There's always this.
Get out.
Fine.
Welter Dew's story appeared to be the final nail in Bushmaster Sandy's coffin. But why didn't Bushmaster Sandy mention that she and Welter had been dating? I know Sandy's dirty, but I had an obligation to get every fact together, to ensure that justice is done, to get paid for another day's work. Plus, there is something that still nags at me. This is all too convenient. I stumble upon a suspect who's dirtier than a hound after a rainstorm with the clearest motive I've ever seen, and yet this all seems forced, almost scripted. Honey asked me to meet her tomorrow at the country club to give her my report. Well, then she sent me another note to meet her at the library, and then I got an email about meeting her at the bookstore. Turns out we're meeting at the movie theater. Anyway, I'll use the opportunity to ask her a few more questions.
Funny. If I thought someone was out to kill me, I wouldn't be at the movies.
Oh, Brandon, I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't stay at my home anymore. I thought if I came out in public, my killer wouldn't show her hand.
Her?
Her or him. Oh, Brandon, I don't know what I would do if you weren't on this case. Do you think you know who's out to kill me?
So, what can you tell me about Bushmaster Sandy?
I know she and Welter dated for a while, but Welter said they were through when we started going together.
He did. What did he tell you about their relationship?
He often complained that she never listened to him. She didn't care about his needs or wants.
Did you ever come in contact with Bushmaster Sandy?
Can I tell you in a flashback?
Again with the flashbacks. Are you kidding me?
Welter and I were having dinner at Chez Joseph only a few weeks after we started dating. It was wonderful. I was having a nice Caesar salad, and Welter had the beef Wellington. Welter called the violinist to come over, and then he paid him to serenade us while we ate. It was all so romantic. As I was saying, we were coming to the end of a nice meal. Welter was about to order a baked Alaska when Bushmaster Sandy stormed up to our table, grabbed a glass of water, and threw it in Welter's face. Welter was stunned. He couldn't do anything. I wasn't about to let this woman embarrass Welter or me in front of all these people. I stood up and I slapped her across the face. Ginger stood there for a moment, stunned that someone had the nerve to hit her. She only paused a second before she grabbed me by the hair and began to drag me out of the restaurant, intent on causing me more harm. The manager and the maitre d' came over and restrained her while Welter and I left.
And is that the only time you've ever had an encounter with Bushmaster Sandy?
Yes. Why? Is she the one who sent me the threatening letter? Is she the one who's out to kill me?
I believe you should remain at home until the investigation is finished.
But I can't read or speak Finnish. Although I do have an uncle from Helsinki.
What the Helsinki are you talking about?
How would I know what your investigation says?
My investigation doesn't say anything. I have to write it.
Better that it's right than left.
Just stay home, honey. Just stay home.
It's clear that I was on my own this case. With all the walking I've been doing, I found myself feeling very thirsty, and I knew just the place for a drink. Suddenly, my overactive sense of paranoia kicked in, and I knew I was being followed. Not wanting to throw my hand too soon, I figured I'd play this little game for just a bit.
Tell me who you are, unless you want to find out if you're bulletproof. Huh?
You won't shoot me!
Oh, and what gives you that impression?
You don't own any bullets.
Oh, that's a minor technicality. Who are you?
I can't tell you that my name is Willie Spankum, or that I work for Welter Dew as his driver.
Or that I was told to follow you and find out who you're investigating, what it has to do with Welcher do, and take pictures.
You tell Welcher who I investigate and who I work for is my business. The next time he sends one of his goons, I might not be so gentle.
Got it.
Yeah, that's it.
Come on, girls.
That was Brandon Iron you were talking to. What were you talking about?
Please don't hurt me. I don't know what you mean.
I was hoping you could tell me who that nasty man was. My friends and I were coming home from a meeting and he frightened us.
Oh, Brandon? He's nothing to be afraid of. Unless you're dirty, ruthless, or a no-good criminal. Then you might be afraid.
You don't think I'm a criminal, do you?
Oh, shucks no. Miss?
I've always wanted to see where Brandon lives. Do you think you can show us? I'd love a picture of him.
I guess it wouldn't cause too much harm.
I knew I could count on you. Let's hurry up so we can catch up with him.
Lucky's Tavern had a reputation I knew quite well. You went to Lucky's when you wanted to get lost, or when you wanted to be found by the right kind of lady. The booze was watered down, but the jazz was smooth. Best of all, it was close to the office.
Barkeep, shot of whiskey.
Yeah, coming up.
Leave the bottle.
Sure.
I need some information.
Think I can help you.
What can you tell me about Welter Dew's wife, Honey?
You mean Honey Glaze? What do you want to know?
Was she a regular here before Welter and she became an item?
Yeah, she was in here all the time. Not always with the same person either.
Really?
Yeah, she was very popular, especially when she was in the mood. She'd come in here wearing this Bush Guide uniform.
Bush Guide's uniform?
Oh yeah, some of the regulars thought it was really cute. It was a rare occasion that her dance card wasn't full, especially on nights like that.
Did Honey ever come in with a group of women? Or was she on her own?
Yeah, she came in with about 3 other women. They all seemed pretty familiar with each other.
Did you ever get the names of the other girls?
Yeah, they seemed pretty content to stick to themselves. Now, Honey's the only one who would ever come up to the bar. Not that I cared much, because none of the others were any good looking.
The night Honey left with Welcher, were any of the other girls around?
Yeah, she was on her own. Hadn't seen much of them after that night.
Would you be able to describe any of the other women?
One looked like she was from the Orient. The other, she was a cute little blonde number. But that third one, boy, she looked like a bulldog in a dress.
Anything else you could tell me about them?
Sorry. That's about all I can remember.
Did you ever notice anyone unusual take a particular interest in Honey?
And there was always lots of eyes on Honey. One did stand out.
How so?
Well, for starters, one belonged to a pretty good-looking dame.
What can you tell me about this woman?
Yeah, she always sat in the back corner booth, always on her own. But when Honey entered the room, it was as if her eyes were glued to her.
Anything else you can remember?
Yeah, she never drank. Never more than a glass of milk for herself. Always just watching Honey.
Do you remember when this fourth woman started looking in on Honey?
And now that I think about it, she started showing up not long after Mr. Dew started dating Honey. I can tell you about it in a flashback.
No thanks, Carl. That'll do.
That was the second time during my investigation a group of 3 girls had been mentioned. Could this be a coincidence? Doubtful. I learned over the years there are very few coincidences. Man, who was that fourth woman? I have no idea. But I don't want to play my cards too soon. The search for the mysterious woman will have to wait till tomorrow. If I'm not careful, I'll solve this case too quickly, which won't be good for business.
I let myself in. Found a spare key under the door. You really should be more careful. Please, don't kick me out.
I guess you can stay. I'll take the couch. You take the Murphy.
But I would feel so much safer with you right next to me.
I'm not sure I would.
Let me go freshen up.
If you want to see Honey alive again, come to 1301 Connolly Road at 10 o'clock. Come alone and unarmed. No signature, but what is it now? Ugh.
Something's not right. Wait a minute. I think I know who's behind everything. I actually think I've solved this puzzle. I need to talk to Sharon. Sharon Matthews, ace reporter for the Daily Gazette, the smartest woman I know. Also my ex-girlfriend. You know, in everyone's life there's the girl that got away and you regret losing? Well, Sharon's that girl for me. Sure, we had some good times, but the job just kept getting in the way. I probably owe her more bail money than I made on my last 10 cases. Maybe someday I can give her the life she deserves and we can try again, but for now, the job calls.
What is it you want now, Iron?
I really need your help, Sharon. I need your information.
Which means either Frank's not talking to you or you're broke.
Listen, we can sit here and trade jabs all day.
I'm game.
You tell me what you know about Bushmaster Ginger Pecan Sandy and what information may have made the newspaper.
You're going to need to be a little more specific.
I'm not looking for how many cookies she sold. I'm looking for information on why somebody would try to frame her.
Let me check my records. Just a minute. Here it is. Looks like Looks like Bushmaster Sandy's made a few enemies the last few years.
March 17th, Bush Guides headquarters. The Bush Guides were shaken to their foundation today. An accusation surfaced that one of their own had been stealing Bush Guide cookies to sell on the black market. Junior Assistant Bushmaster Ginger Pecan Sandy today announced that one of her star girls had been stripped of her rank, and her achievements, and her beret, and her insignia. The guide, whose name is being withheld pending her 18th birthday, is being dishonorably discharged from the Bush Guides after being discovered selling bogus cookies to loyal Bush lovers. The unnamed guide would turn the money made from the knockoff cookies into the Bush Guide headquarters, while the money she made selling the authentic cookies on the sly went straight into an offshore investment established through... Oh, that's it! I know why she did it! Sharon, you're an angel. You're a doll. You've helped me crack this case wide open.
What? Fine, fine. Will you leave already? Or am I going to have to get a little physical here?
Everything now in place. I headed off to where I knew the ordeal must end. I didn't know exactly what I would find at the warehouse, but I had a good idea. I did know I was going into big trouble if I wasn't careful. It's times like this I wish I had a rod to pack. "1301 Connolly Road, a seemingly innocent warehouse owned by, you guessed it, Welter Dew. Something tells me I wouldn't be seeing Mr. Dew this evening, and odds are it wouldn't be pleasant. If I'm right, someone is going to have to do plenty of explaining. If I'm wrong, this could get very messy."
I would like to say I'm surprised to see you here, but for some reason, I expected you.
Bushmaster Sandy. I could say the same. But let me ask you this. What'd your note say?
How did you know I received a note?
Lucky guess. What'd it say?
You want to know what it says? Fine. I'll tell you. Dearest Pecan, I am so sorry for all the pain I have caused you. I realize now the mistakes I made and want to come back to you. Please meet with me at my warehouse. I know it seems unusual, but I don't want Honey to find out I'm leaving her until the time is right. With much love, Welter. But you would know that, wouldn't you? Since you wrote it.
What makes you think that?
You wanted me here to watch as you killed Honey and framed it on me and let Welter walk away free to take over my hard-earned empire. The two of you had been working together the whole time.
How'd you figure that out?
I knew when you walked into my office and started asking questions about Honey, I knew that Welter was creating another scheme to get me out of the picture. And you were under his thumb.
You're giving Welter quite a lot of credit. Frankly, I don't think Welter has anything to do with the kidnapping.
I knew I'd find you here, Iron. To be perfectly honest, Pecan, not too shocked to see you here either.
I was wondering when you'd arrive, Mr. Dew.
Welter, you can't believe that I had anything to do with this mess.
I knew you hated Honey because she was the woman I left you for. And I knew you were capable of doing anything.
Let's not be too hasty, Mr. Dew. I think you should put down the gun.
Pecan had the motive, but not necessarily the means. She needed help. That's why you lured my wife to your apartment, seduced her, drugged her, and brought her here.
Whoa, come again? I did not seduce your wife.
Alright, it's time for both of you to die.
Look, if you kill us, the real kidnappers will get off scot-free. And you'll likely end up behind bars.
Oh, what makes you so sure? Who would miss the two of you? And with no witnesses, who's to know?
You can't kill all of us, Welter. My girls will be all over you if you try anything.
Calm down, Ginger. I wouldn't be so confident if I were you. I don't think they're here to help you.
What? How dare you imply that my girls would be anything but loyal to me?
I say that because they're the ones that left me a little present last night, right here on the back of the head, right before they disappeared with Honey last night.
Is that true?
Of course not, Bushmaster Sandy. We were nowhere near his office last night.
Oh, well, what's she paying you?
Who in the hell are you talking about, Iron? You keep saying there's someone behind this. Who is it?
He's making it up. There's no one but the two of you, and you know it.
Your little Chippy here knows who I'm talking about, and so does our kidnapper.
That's absurd, Iron. You're trying to suggest she was behind the kidnapping? I should have shot you when I had the chance. Say goodbye, Iron. Ah!
Iron, you idiot. I had everything planned perfectly and you had to go louse things up.
What are you doing?
Tell me, Iron. How did you do it? How did you know?
Wasn't easy. All the clues are pointing to her being the prime suspect. When you were kidnapped, I knew it had to be her, because it was her 3 friends here that took off with you. But you made one big mistake, though.
Oh? What was that?
With the money you paid me, I was able to have someone come over and clean my office.
So? You're a slob who got a cleaning lady. What has that got to do with anything?
When I woke up, my apartment was just as clean as when the maid left. Even the bottle you broke was in the trash can. You were so concerned with making a loud noise you didn't think.
Yeah! Yeah!
There was no sign of forced entry on my front doors, so I was left to believe that you knew your attackers. Furthermore, when Humongo the guide over here, Culp cocked me upside the head, I had to assume they were already inside when I got there.
I knew we forgot something. I will not go to jail for this.
Yeah? Shut up, sugar. I'm still the one with the gun, ain't I?
Why, honey? Haven't I given you everything?
Almost, dearest. When you're in jail, then I'll have everything.
Oh, you can't be serious. Why would I go to jail?
Honey was gonna frame you for the murder of Ginger and I. She had your Willie take those pictures, posing in the window of my apartment. And I can only guess how she got him to do it.
I bet I can guess.
Honey wanted you here to see Ginger and I. And she knew in a fit of rage you'd have your gun and you'd shoot both of us. She was then gonna have you sent to jail, where the enemies you had put in the big house would have you finished off. She would then play the part of the grieving widow, take over your cookie business as well as the Bush Guides.
Why would you do this to me?
Oh, that's a question you should be asking Ginger.
I have no idea what you mean.
Of course you don't. But Honey does.
You ruined my life. I swore I would destroy you when you had me kicked out of the Bush Guides.
Is that what this is all about? You are stealing honey. You are cheating yourself, the organization, and your fellow sisters.
You took everything from me. So now, I'm gonna take everything from you. I'm gonna kill you.
Alright, we're going to take a nice little trip down to the police station. The four of you. Where you're going to turn yourselves in. Capiche?
Prison ain't gonna hold me for long. And when I get out, I'm coming for you!
Pecan, I'm sorry. I had no idea she was using me all along. Could you ever forgive me and give me a second chance?
I'll think about it. For right now, I just want to go home and get a nice glass of milk and some cookies.
Is there enough milk for two?
I think so.
Honey and her gang were found guilty of extortion, attempted murder, and being really clueless and sentenced to 5 years in the State Women's Correctional Facility. Welter and Ginger had made up and were in the process of reestablishing their relationship. Ginger put in her resignation with the Bush Guides as helping to find a suitable replacement. She and Welter are now working together to make Welter's Cookies into a national conglomerate, renaming the cookies to honor Welter's grandmother Nicole, or Nookie to her friends. So far, Nookie's Cookies are a hit. As for me and Sharon, well, Sharon gave me another chance. Looks like everything is going to work out after all.